Welcome to my channel. I'm sharing my continuing journey with Mounjaro. I'm taking Mounjaro for weight loss. I'm not diabetic. I have no other medical conditions that I need to take Mounjaro for. This is purely to tackle obesity. This is my 7th week on Mounjaro, so I'm going to share how the 7th week went. It's my last week on 5 milligrams, but because I'm loading this video a little later than I normally do, I'm also going to share how I've started off on the 7.5 milligrams. So with the 5 milligrams, the week went very well. I lost 1 pound. So for anyone that has followed my journey, you will know that I've steadily been losing about 2 pounds a week. This is a little under, but I'm not phased by that. The scales went in the right direction. I think of all those years ago trying things like Weight Watchers, where you go once a week for a weigh-in, and sometimes, you know, perhaps it was that particular day, that particular morning of your weigh-in, my scales would be the same after a week's hard work, or maybe even put on a little bit. So to see 1 week later the scales go down a pound, I'm very happy. Past attempts at weight loss is most definitely my measuring point for how well I'm doing with Mounjaro. So I lost 1 pound this week. My appetite was suppressed, obviously sufficiently to lose a pound. I did have a couple of days that took me by surprise where I had zero appetite. It was very difficult to find something to eat. I was literally walking around my kitchen, looking in the fridge and looking in the pantry. And I mean, one of my lunchtimes today, I settled on cup noodles because it was the only thing that appealed to me. And I managed half of the cup noodles that day. So it's a bit of a struggle, and because I struggled for a couple of days to decide what to eat, it made me very nervous about starting the 7.5. It's now Sunday afternoon, and I took the 7.5 Friday evening, and I felt immediately more side effects, more of a reaction than I did on the 5 milligrams. I was very tired yesterday. I just felt a bit off. I had a busy day, Saturday, busy day, lots of errands, chores, things to do. I had to pick my husband up from the airport because he'd been away. So I had to get on with my day. I couldn't give in to it and go to bed, even though that would have been nice, but you know, that's life. But I was very tired today, Sunday. Yes, I've been pretty tired as well, but feel a little bit better. If I think back to my very, very first week on 2.5, I started off the first couple of days feeling quite off and unwell and even fluey. And then the rest of the week I felt very energised. I wish all of my weeks made me feel like that. And having a day yesterday where really I could have just slept the whole day is slightly disheartening. But when I look at how I felt on the Mounjaro as a whole, it's certainly not enough to put me off. Even if every day felt like that, if the tiredness equals steady weight loss and a slimmer me at the end of the journey, I think I would still put up with being tired and tackle it at the other end when, you know, perhaps I'm on a maintenance dose or even off the Mounjaro, who knows. But I have had a worrying side effect. I've not really mentioned this before. I might have mentioned it once or twice, but I'm getting a slight reaction at the injection point. It was a very slight reaction on the 2.5, but the 5 milligram was a slightly larger reaction. So it's just, you know, sore, a bit like a mosquito bite. And it would last the whole week, really. You know, after about 3 or 4 days, it starts to subside and not bother me. But really on day 6 and 7, it's still slightly itchy and uncomfortable. And because this was noticeably more on the 5 milligrams compared to the 2.5 milligrams, I was very nervous about how it would be on the 7.5 milligrams. And worryingly enough, it appears to be a bit worse. I've got a big hive, I guess you would call it, on my leg from the injection point that I administered on Friday evening. It's very itchy. It's taking all of my control not to scratch it. I took an antihistamine tablet. Hey, that might have actually added to my tiredness. I've just thought of that. I took an antihistamine tablet, and it really didn't seem to ease the itchiness and the uncomfortable feeling that this was giving me. It doesn't appear to be getting bigger, but I'm monitoring it, and I am going to discuss it with my doctor. I will share a photo. I might do it on this video, or I might upload another video, specifically on this subject. But I'm obviously interested to know if anybody else had this and how it was tackled. I'm sure you can all understand that my worry is that it's going to gradually get worse and I will have to come off the medication, because my doctor tried to get me Wegovy and, all of the other GLP-1s before Mounjaro started doing the savings card, and my insurance wouldn't cover those other medications. So I'm not really sure what my other options are if I have to come off Mounjaro. So that is my fear. That is what is in the back of my mind, that the reaction is going to gradually get worse. Or the other thing is the reaction actually a sign that the medication full stop doesn't agree with me? So that just because I'm seeing the reaction on my skin at the injection point, could it be reacting inside my body? I haven't had huge side effects throughout this journey, so I suspect that is not the case. But nonetheless, all of these thoughts are going through my mind. As I said, I will discuss it with my doctor, and I would be very interested to hear if anyone else has had this experience. I'm just looking for ideas on how to tackle it, really. It wasn't a complete shock that I got a reaction. I'm somebody who always gets a reaction when I have immunisations. If I have a blood test, I always get a big bruise on my arm. That's just how it works for me. So I wasn't too surprised that there was a bit of a reaction, but seeing it get worse, I've got to discuss it with a doctor, which obviously I'm not a medical practitioner. So any comments I have, any thoughts I have on what is happening, what isn't happening, doesn't come from a medical background whatsoever. It comes from, just the same background as most people would have with medical problems. It comes from a bit of common sense, a bit of general knowledge, and a bit of Googling. So that is where I'm at. So I finished up on the 5 milligram, pretty happy, pretty successful. Total weight loss 13 pounds. That's covering the 2.5 and the 5 milligram. Very happy with where this is going, very happy with the direction it's going in. I can feel my face. When I touch my face, it feels a little bit less. When I look in the mirror, my stomach is a little bit less. So I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I'm just a little bit concerned. I've gone up a dose. What's going to happen next? So as always, I really enjoy having the comments. So please comment, let me know how it's going for you. I'm enjoying lots of the other vlogs I'm seeing on YouTube as well. Please also continue to share. It helps me. I'm sure it's helping lots of other people. It's good to know that we're part of a community. So I think that's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.